Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is I don't even know what edition this is because we got Arsenal people here, we got United people here. So this is the SPS Derby edition. How about that? That's what we're going to call it. I don't even know who to introduce first. First of all, Dean, how you doing today?
Well, I feel great. I mean,
I,
why I feel great.
I'm
Great.
sure. I'm sure you do. I see your cheekbones. Pause. You look very handsome today. I'm proud of you.
Face card blooming today.
Yeah, I was going to introduce Tommy, but he's being rude. I'll introduce a beautiful black lady we have here, Gabby. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm not as well as I could be because fuck Chelsea, but I'm doing well.
I mean, it is what it is. Sancho got his first goal and tapped the badge. What a bird.
What a light-skinned nigga thing to do.
What a light-skinned nigga thing to do. Truly is. This is why Al B. Shaw got rid of in the 90s. So, anyways, Tommy, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Them boys couldn't bring me down. Them two particular people couldn't bring me down. I'll speak on them.
We'll get to it. So how was your mood before the game, everybody? Now everybody talk at once. What, Dean? How did you feel before the game, going into the game?
Honestly, from I was listening to a lot of Arsenal podcasts, including ours, and I think it was sort of like a foregone conclusion that we're going to win this. That makes any sense. And for the United fans, I know like you and Tommy and other people and podcasts I've listened to as well, there was a lot of defeatism in advance, a lot of excuse making in advance. So it kind of took the tension off from me. Usually I'm more nervous about this fixture before it starts. Like I'm literally shitting myself. Well, not literally. I'm an adult. But you know what I mean? Like I'm bricking it. And it was just very calm. I came in, I sat down, and it happened the way I expected it to happen. Maybe a little more mechanical than I thought, but
Not a little, a lot. But anyway, Gabby.
Gabby, I was a little bit nervous for this game, but more so because I knew Gabriel wasn't going to be in it. I think that's the only thing that kind of like, I was like, Saliba on his own with whoever's going to be at center back with him, which probably would end up being Kivior. I was like, they're going to get some jammy fucking goal or do some bullshit. Just hopefully we just win anyway.
Yeah. Tommy, how'd you feel?
Before the game, I like Dean said, the United Arsenal games are always a toss up. Like no matter form doesn't matter when it comes to this joint. You can always rely on something wild happening. So there was a bit of that, but I was also not pessimistic, but I resigned myself to maybe we might sneak a draw, but I wasn't too of a win. But I wasn't like upset about it because this is only our fifth game, and like Amarin has been telling us, the storm will come. The storm will come. That man's been letting us know from jump. Hey, you're gonna see some nasty stuff. So I was a bit, I was expecting it.
That's actually a good segue because speaking of nasty stuff, let's talk about the lineup. The United lineup was heavily rotated. It's like 5 or 6 different players.
Yeah.
We got this Congolese dude named Godswill on the bench, which is, by the way, that's an insane name to call a 16-year-old kid. Is Godswill. Like,
his mother must be Igbo.
No, they're just straight from Congo. That's all that is.
Like they don't speak English that well to be naming kids Godswill. What the fuck? Like some French Mazembe shit like Mobutu, Sese Seko, Wazapanga, McBurney type shit. Like call him one of them things, nigga. Like that's our shit. Don't steal from Nigeria. Fuck.
No, literally.
Yeah, but United rotated heavily. It was very interesting to see because I didn't care about the lineups before. Like once I saw that Mount and Garnacho and Harlan was going to start, I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. And then Malacia started, and I was just, when we saw him against Baltimore Glint, he has a lot of hair. That's the nicest thing I can say about him. He has a lot of hair. That's the only good thing I say about him. Nice hair.
Let me ask Toby a question. Do you think it was more just straight up rotation, or was it I need to see these players because I don't know them yet?
The answer for that is yes.
I think it was yes. I think it was a little bit of yes because if you deeped it, Rashford, Ahmad, and Xerxes, who didn't start today, all played 90 minutes. Last game against Everton, and if you peeped, he not hooked, but he took off Bruno in like the 70-something minute.
Okay.
So you could sort of like see that's where it was leaning. But also, like you said, Maguire's back. Let me see what Maguire can give me. Ugarte didn't play too much against Everton. Let me see what he knows Ugarte, but let me see what he can do with pieces next to him. Mount hasn't been playing much. Let me see what Mount got for me. Malacia is coming back. Let me see if he can improve on what he did against Bogo buy one get one off, whatever. So it's just like let me just. So I feel like it was a little bit of both. Like he said, okay, since I am resting these players, let me also see what their backups or what their competition can do in different. Because he also, I remember in the interview, Tosin, you know this, in an interview like a couple before even the Everton game, he said we have players who can play 2 or 3 different positions, so I need to see where they play the best at, so I can know moving forward. So I think that's what this was a little bit of too.
Yeah. Gabby, question for you. Arsenal made some changes. Obviously, Kiro coming in. The party just died, came in for Jorginho. Martinelli started for Trossard, and handsome modeling schoolboy did not start. He was injured. So Zinchenko came in. How do you feel about the changes Arsenal made?
Some of them were expected. Like I knew Martinelli was going to come back in if he was fit. And I also knew that Five was going to come back in. What I didn't expect is Kivior, because I didn't know how. He said there was a late fitness test for Calafiori, and I was like, if Calafiori's fit, I would have think that he would switch him over to center back, and then somebody else would come in on the left, but. He didn't do that. Switched them both out, Gabrielle out, and put Kivior and why did I forget his name already? Zinchenko. Thank you. He's gone out of my. He's out of the squad in my mind already. So
we all feel the same way. You're an Arsenal fan. It's normal. It's normal. We can't stand the motherfucker anymore.
Yeah. So some of them were expected, some of them were not, but it's pretty like next man up team.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys rotated pretty well. Like for all intents and purposes, Kiro played very well. I thought that he was going to be food, but he did play very well today. So shout out to him for doing that. But overall, I mean, the lineups really didn't bother me for either side. It was just more so just one of those things where people are hurt. It's a midweek game. It's December. We got a crazy amount of games coming up. And I feel bad for the players, but also this is your job. Get to do your job. I did also think that Rasmus could have done a little bit better on Kyrgios, but again, like Saliba, man, he's a man mountain. Lee Dixon, by the way, is easily one of my favorite commentators. Because Lee Dixon.
Oh God, not my legend. I hate that guy.
You say what?
Can't stand the motherfucker. Don't like him.
Stand him.
Do you know why I love him?
He says whatever.
All he does is hate and tell stories about his day. That's what he did today. He saw Saliba did very well, and he goes, well, so the commentator next time said it must have been because of that number. Lee Dixon won number 2, and he was like, yeah, it's a special number because good players wear it. I'm like, okay, Lee, shut up. I was like, shut up. This is all you do. Let's talk about the managers, though. I want to ask you guys from your perspective, how do you guys feel about how Ruben Amorim was today as a manager? Like, how do you guys feel? Because something I saw that he did today that Eric Ten Hag hasn't done, but I'll let you guys talk about how you guys feel about Ruben today.
I mean, I'll go first. First of all, even leading up to the match, and like him, first of all, he hates the press, and I love that already. I also hate the press, but he's able to get across his points clearly, and you can see what he means. Like when he speaks, there's no confusion. He's a man who knows the ideas he has and can get it across clearly. But like on the game, like in the actual game, you can see he set us up. There's a formation. The players have defined roles, and they stick with it. Like during the first half, I think the possession was almost split evenly, but you could tell it was hard for Arsenal to break us down. We were able to not control the game, but we were able to get the ball. It didn't look so hectic. So I think he's come in 5 days. Like he's been here for not too long. He's able to already get his system and idea solidified. So I do love that from him. And Arteta, we know what Arteta is gonna do. And as much as I hate him and Arsenal, hands up, good manager. Like flat out, good manager. He knows what he wants to do.
Great.
Duro.
Call it what it is. Okay.
He knows what he wants to do, and he's able to get it across and get it done. And I feel like that's the best thing in a manager. Not only do you have an idea of what you want to do, but you're able to communicate that to the players and to the press. So, yeah.
Sure.
I will say the one thing I'll say about Eric Ten Hag is Eric Ten Hag was very reactive, and Ruben is very, very proactive. Like he knows when to make subs, because Eric will hold on to the subs like they roll over to next month, like he was on AT&T singing. Like, yo, it's not rolling over, bro. Use your sub. So he's using them properly. But yeah, on Mikel, man. I mean, he's been at Arsenal since 2019. I mean, it's fully his team now. It's his identity. Like we were saying before we recorded, Wenger will come to this team now. Like, what the fuck did you do to my team? What the fuck did you do to my stadium? It's a bunch of big dudes just ready to take your head off at any given time. And I was watching Arsenal in the corner kicks. I was like, my players are suffering right now. They don't know what the hell's going on. They were
Yes, I remember.
Everybody was stressed. Like even when the goal, even the first goal that Arsenal scored, right? You could see like that Timber scored. You could see like in Rasmus and Bruno's eyes, like, they were like, "What the hell? We don't know what to do."
On
And
that
it's like,
first goal, they zoomed in on Mason Mount's face, and I'm like, oh, he's in hell. He does not know what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so for the United fans, Tosin Tomi, do you guys think other teams might look at that and think that's a weakness for you, or do you just think everyone knows Arsenal are really good at set pieces, so no big deal?
I'll take this one. I'll take it. I got it. First of all, they're not Arsenal. You're not gonna do that. Arsenal has been doing this forever. Okay, this is what Arsenal does. You can try it on United. It's not gonna work because you're not Arsenal. Arsenal's a specific way of doing their set pieces. It's like I don't know. It's like magnetism. It's like you niggas sit in the corner and it just works. Like you got
What are
30.
you doing, pick and rolls?
Y'all over here Lob City. Like this is literally this is Glendock Rivers Clippers. Like y'all over here doing like I saw people posting the Shaq meme where Shaq is like, where Shaq rolls the
Oh,
ball.
I can't lie, that made me laugh so
That's
hard.
not y'all. Y'all are literally calling like lobs from half court and throwing it because y'all know it's gonna go in. Like that's what Arsenal are doing. And it's not even like even if we want to use another example, you guys literally doing dig routes and slugger routes in NFL. Like comebacks. I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing? That's what it is.
When Arteta was hanging out with Sean McVay all those years ago because they both worked for
That's
KFC.
what he was doing.
Yeah, people thought he was just dick riding or some shit. Like, nah, he learned some shit. Look at it now.
That's why he was also hanging out with with other NBA dudes because that's what he's doing. He's learning from all the sports. He's a sick man. That's what he is. That's why his hair looks like that. It's absolutely sick man.
Let me throw one at Gabby real quick. We didn't look very fluid today, especially in that first half. Even in the second half, we were better, more intense, but not very fluid. What did you make of that? Does that give you some panic, some pause for the future after 3 really nice games?
It gives me panic. I always attribute anything. I shouldn't say anything, but most of the things bad to this team is to one person playing, and you know who it is. But when you look at obviously United are not West Ham. West Ham are going through a terrible phase right now, and they're playing like shit. Agreed. But when we played against West Ham, we had different personnel. We just had different personnel. Obviously, Trossard came out, and Georgie was out on the bench. So I think personally, Arteta gave them a little bit too much respect because we were letting United have the ball a lot, especially like in the midfield. I know we were trying to pressure them, but we were kind of just letting them like, well, come on and break us down then if you can do it. And it was so clear that they couldn't do it, which changed in the second half. But I don't think I have like pause for it. I think Arteta very much knows how to pick and choose his game plans. When he wants to be more tactically astute, he'll choose that, and he'll play a little bit more defensively. And people call it Mourinho ball or whatever. And then when he wants to play more champagne football, he'll choose the personnel for that. I guess he just thought like he didn't want to give everyone his a win for us in our stadium.
Yeah, I guess low key, because Arsenal just played against his former team not that long ago, who still essentially played the same system that United are trying to learn right now. I was thinking to myself that this was maybe an opportunity to really do some damage to United. So yes, that first half definitely bugged me a little bit. But back to you, Tosin. From a United fan standpoint, you watch all the games, not just United. You watch everything. We do this shit together. Did you have any of those concerns as far as like, well, they literally just went to a team that had his fingerprints? Like this was maybe their second game with the new guy, and they destroyed them. Was there any fear based on that?
No, not at all. I mean, the only thing I'm worried about right now, I told you this, and when we talked about Ruben, is like, can he get these boys to play how he wants them to play? And so far, that's what he's doing. I'm not worried about results at this point. It's more so just like, can you do the most basic things right? Can you actually hold and receive the ball? Like that's all I care about right now. Like you can lose 2-0, just don't look like a bitch doing it. Excuse my French. So I'm not worried like at all. None of this bothers me because I know it takes time. Like I know when you guys first got Mikel in 2019, that was stop-start. Same thing when Klopp came in Liverpool, that was stop-start. So these things happen, right? So for me, it's like, I'm not judging this team the first 3-4 weeks of the coach coming in. It's going to take its time. So I wasn't worried. I think my biggest concern all the time when I look at United is Bruno going to play today and actually have a brain? And he actually did. So that's just really my biggest concerns. Go ahead.
He had a brain first half.
Yes.
He had a brain first half. Second half, I'm more lenient on Bruno than Tosin. Tosin wants to put him in a headlock. But I think Bruno overall, I think he didn't have a bad game. Second half he was definitely much worse. But like Tosin was saying, I'm not worried. I'm not lying. So I'm not worried about the results. I don't get too bothered by the results. When we win, if we look good winning, I love it. When we lose, depending on how we lose, that's when I get upset. Today, the loss didn't bother me too much. It was the players. It was certain players and how we lost.
Can you tell us which players?
Mason fucking Mount. I'm waiting outside Emirates for you. I'm waiting. I cannot stand this guy. People been saying, "Oh, he had an injury-riddled first season. Stall him out, give him a chance." I tried. I can't do it anymore. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks.
I want you to crash out entirely on your own players because they're your own business. But I gotta say, and maybe we're watching different games. I don't know. He was one of the more impressive players to me
today.
Today, yes.
I can't. I don't. Okay, I think my thing is like what he's been advertised as is not what he.
Well, what do you think he is?
This man is. First of all, I think he's not. He shouldn't be the furthest midfielder up. Like he was in that 10 role with Garnacho. I don't think he should be there because that man, this creativity on the ball, it's in flashes, and I think we can't have the inconsistency up there. I know he had that cool little back heel against buy one get one off to set up Hoyland's second goal, but that doesn't happen. It happens once every other game. People tell me Mason Mount, he has a great engine. He's always running. He can keep the ball. Have him sit next to Ugarte or Casemiro then. Drop him further back because then we need that energy there. I don't want him closest to goal.
That's not going to work.
But then, because he closest to the goal, he doesn't do anything.
I think this is how you should feel. Really, you should feel even more comfortable about Amorim because he doesn't agree with you on this. Mason Mount, as much as he has an engine, he's not the most creative. He's English. What do you expect? Come on. But I do think his counter pressing and his energy up front is really good. I wouldn't want him on my team. He's definitely not my type of player. He's not my type of attacking midfielder. But
he's far from my type of attacking midfielder.
I do think he'll come good for you guys over time. He's an honest player. There's a reason why every manager he plays for loves him. They start him almost instantly. Tuchel did it. Lampard did it at 2 different clubs. Potter did
Lampard
it. Got fired.
I'm about to say, all the managers you named are now fired. And my thing that
it's been a long time at Chelsea.
I get why, I can see the idea behind Mason Mount. I can see the idea. But the actual player is not what people think he is. And he's just not good. I can't.
You said that man is an NFT.
Yes, he is. He's an idea. Bro, this man is
this is what we call ethical hating.
Yes. Matthew McConaughey and the Wolf of Wall Street doing all this. That's what Mason Mount is.
He's a better man than me because I don't do ethical hating. I
hate him. And then
that's the Jamaican in you.
Garnacho, since you turned 20, I've been less lenient. I love you, Garnacho, and I think you will be a good player. You're not a starter.
I don't know why you're talking Garnacho on this podcast. We're all black. He's not listening to this shit. You know that. Stop the bullshit.
The Argentinian in him.
Right.
You will see him at Getafe soon enough, so fair enough.
I genuinely believe, man. I don't rate that little nigga.
I genuinely think he'll be a good player. He's made one of those wing, because I'm always for wingers and attacking players. Their main goal is to always try something, always run at people. So there will be some frustration there. That's why I'm a bit more lenient. But my God, he plays like a U13 player. He's proof that women mature faster than men. Because that man is 20. He's 20 with the brain of the kids I coach in high school varsity. What are you doing? You can't be doing stuff like that. I remember in the first 5 minutes, I think he tried to do I think he tried to like put the ball behind his back to go past Timber, and he just kicked it out of bounds. Like when Danny Welbeck tried to do that step over and backheeled it. Oh, that's what it was, and I'm like, bro, he started, and then that's
His
how he
brother
kept
gasses
going.
him too much, my guy. He gasses him too much.
It's
You're
not his
not who you think you are.
That
it's not
guy,
his
man.
fault. It's not his fault. Tosin, what do you think the game would have looked like if Arsenal scored early? Because there was that moment, it was clearly offside, but Martinelli put the ball in the net. Then also number 5 on Arsenal, he should have nodded a header in. I don't know what he did in that moment. He did some shit. How do you think the game would have looked after that? Do you think United would have stayed as solid as they did throughout that first half?
They would have panicked. These players, like, they're learning the system, right? They're learning it bit by bit, day by day. But these players, they still got to go take a shower. They got a lot of stench on them, and they get scored on early. You know what I mean? It's back to panic stations, baby. It's back to panic stations. But I will say this much about the team: the midfield and the defense they're clicking. It's the forward issue that's the problem with this team. But had they got scored on early, I don't know, man. Them boys would have started. They would have been real fragile, because I saw it a little bit in the first half too, when I forgot, someone gave up the ball and Arsenal counted against us, and I could tell, I was like, "Oh, you boys are shaky. You guys are very shaky." So yeah,
I know exactly what I'm talking about with Bruno. But like you said on the attack is so hit or miss right now. Like some games, sometimes you're like, okay, we're creating chances, just need to put one in. Other games like this one, damn, we can't sniff nothing out.
It's Arsenal.
No, to be fair, our defense is very good.
That's one thing. That's why I try to like give them grace, because again, you guys do have like Saliba, hands up. Like I never like really doubted Saliba, but he's exactly what you guys say he is. You feel me?
Yeah, we know.
Gabriel, on the other hand, he didn't play, but that's another one.
Yeah,
But Kiro did well. He stood up to the test well. Zinchenko was not good. Timber is who I respect. Timber, like I watch like I'll catch the odd random other league game. So I've seen him a bit at Ajax and like the Champions League.
is that fired? Yeah, he was Ajax. That's his brother.
Yeah, his brother. That's that fire. Look at you. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Kick him off. But yeah, so I've seen the odd game, and he's always been solid. Like I don't know if he's like a outside back or a center back. Like
he plays. Yes, that's what he plays.
He plays defense. Where do you play? Back there. Don't worry.
Yeah, I can tell this motherfucker doesn't listen to the Arsenal edition, because you know way more about Timber. We love him. He's one of those guys that essentially can play all 11 positions.
Yeah.
And play them to like a 7 to 8 out of 10
He's
standard
a footballer.
every game.
Yeah.
He's a
footballer.
You know who else is like that? Mazzuari. They're both like two just very talented players, but they're different.
I thought he was just out there hacking today, man. Like it was like
Mazzuari?
It was like he saw himself in the headlines this morning because of his little anti-gay adventure, and now he was like, "Let me take it out on Arsenal players and just kick everybody and shit." Does that motherfucker have a hair transplant? What the fuck is going on with his? Why is his hairline so wide?
He's just
like,
Moroccan.
It's like the length of a box 18. Like the 18-yard box is like.
Listen, he's just Northern African. Look at Salah. Come on, man. Call him up. Also, speaking of on Mazraoui's side, how do you guys feel like Malacia did?
Yeah, I thought he was playing.
I was like, okay. There was this one tackle he made on I'm not sure who it was. It was like a last ditch tackle, and I'm like, see, Malacia, this is what you were before you got pregnant and that were on maternity leave. Like this man was like because we got him for like 12 million, solid backup for Luke Shaw. He's like he'll give you like a good 6-7 out of 10 when he's needed, and he's slowly getting back to that. So I do like, because I like him as a player and he seems like a decent enough human. So I'm glad he did well today, and I hope it wasn't injury while he got hooked. I hope it was just this guy hasn't played in like 12 years, so let's just get him back in.
Yeah, a game against Arsenal is not the most. I mean, I know he got some minutes against Bozo Glimt, all due respect. But this is a higher intensity game. For him to play more than 45 to 60 minutes would have been risking him.
Yeah.
Especially since Luke Shaw already relapsed. Kind of got to keep him on.
Well, that's what's going to be my question. Do you, for the United fans, because obviously I don't care, but do you actually feel like you guys miss Luke Shaw? Like when you watch your team play, like.
All right, let me answer this. I love Luke Shaw. Okay, the fact The fact that Luke Shaw can even walk, let alone play football, is a miracle in
It
itself.
is.
That man's leg almost got amputated. Okay, it
Yeah.
was that like. I had this conversation with one of my homegirls earlier this today. She was asking, "Is he fragile?" And I was like, "No, he's a miracle." Okay,
Yeah.
the fact this man can still walk, let alone run, is a damn miracle in itself. So he's gonna have these muscle injuries because of how bad the leg break was. It just sucks. But when Luke Shaw plays, those 12 games he plays a year is something special. Like this is a man who literally is one of the most technical gifted players physically as well. And we miss him. Like Luke Shaw is a special, special player, but it is what it is, man. Like, I mean, we got to replace him next year, and it sucks. It sucks that like injuries happen to people. It just is what it is. Question. Go ahead, then. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so the second half started because the first half was essentially not very eventful.
Yeah.
Which was fine. I was okay with that. I knew that things would change. Arsenal's essentially upped the intensity in that second half. How do you think your boys coped with it, Tommy?
When it started, we didn't cope with it well. Like you guys were creating. I think in the first like 10 minutes, you guys were on us creating chances, but as the game settled down, we coped with it better, and we were able to like get a bit forward more, especially Ahmad on Zinchenko's side. We were able to get up more, and I feel like the game opened up, became more end to end, but it was still leaning in y'all favor, if that makes sense. Like you guys were the more dominant team, but we didn't just roll over and be like, here's the game. So I do like that we did at least show some fight back, Like Tosin said, there were a couple like if you guys had scored early, them boys would have hidden their shell. So I like how they said, nah, we're still united. We can like we're still football players. So we can still at least show some heart. So I did like that a bit.
Question for you guys: how do you guys feel about scoring with just two corners? I know that's your new thing. You guys are like now pro wrestlers
Listen,
and shit.
any way it goes in, I don't give a fuck. I'm here with you. As long as it goes in. And also, I'm not gonna lie, I really like the inevitability that we have on corners. I love that. When you watching Arsenal in like 2014 and later, like before Arteta got here, that shit, just throw the corners away. I'd rather take a free kick or something like that. Like throw in from the corner or something, because it was a waste of my time. We were not scoring on corners. But every time we get a corner now, and I love that it's not always, I mean, Gabriel gets the headlines, of course, because he has scored the most. That guy is crazy. But I like that they share the routines with everybody. Like, it's just, sometimes it's Timber, because Timber should have scored the other day, too. And Saliba, and we all know Five should have scored today. Like, it's just, yeah, I love the inevitability of it all. And I also love the way that other teams panic. Like, our opponents panic when we get a corner, for sure. I saw before we scored on our second goal, when Rashford gave the ball away, I saw somebody tweet like, "Why would you do that?"
Niggas
They just
score.
knew.
I can't believe y'all scored with your ass today against us. That's
Yeah,
I
crazy.
saw
it's
that,
crazy,
bro.
man. We twerked you motherfuckers to the
Like, can you
fucking shadow
imagine?
zone and shit.
Saliba the Stallion.
Yeah, I saw this. I'm still calling them skeets because it cracks me the fuck up. But I saw the tweet on Blue Sky from Phil Costa. He's a fairly notable Arsenal blogger, and he said the Spanish commentators are imitating the Jaws music
Jaws
every time Arsenal
rhythm.
gets a corner.
Niggas
You
saying,
know, and I think, yeah, it's like there are two aspects of it that really warm my heart as an Arsenal fan. One, every part of the game is a part of the game. Like, we pay a lot of attention to our manager. We watch all the interviews, we've read all the articles, and he was very clear from the beginning, back in 2019, that he expects his team to be dangerous in every phase of the game. Like, when Arsenal's fullbacks hold the ball during a throw-in, and you think, oh, these motherfuckers are wasting time. They're not wasting time. They're running
getting in
plays.
position. Yeah.
They're trying to score directly from that throw-in. Like, they want to be dangerous on everything. And I always thought, like, I'm a child of Wenger, like, I always thought it was a big ghost to be, like fucking Rory Delap wiping the ball with a towel at Stoke and tossing that bitch in, and they score against us. That's not even football. It's like, why is it not football? Like, it all counts, So
You feel me?
ultimately, I think that the best judgment, or the best way to judge your team's performance on the ball, is what they do in open play, for sure. But on days when it's not clicking for Arsenal, like today, it's nice to know that there's always another way. There's always a way. Like, you're not going. you're not going to escape scot-free against Arsenal. They're going to get you some kind of way.
I will say,
in situations like this, I always like to as much as I hate the guy, Jose Mourinho had a point. He was talking about like finals, like in finals, but I think it can apply here. He was like, I'm not going to a final to play. I'm going to a final to win.
Yeah.
So I get that mindset. Like, am I annoyed that we gave up 2 corner goals? Yes. Will I talk trash about it? Yes. Will I call you guys Stoke? Absolutely.
Amen.
If we scored off 2 corners, come on, that's how we do it. That's what we do in practice. You feel me?
Yo, man,
So,
I've seen United come to that stadium and beat us in the game 2-0, I think, with 1 shot on target.
Like, come on, man.
Was that the De Gea
they bragged about
mega save game?
Remember,
Like,
De Gea came to our stadium and made 14 saves, and you guys
No,
acted like shit was
ridiculous.
Listen, you guys
I don't
even
give a
talking
fuck.
about that one. Remember when we beat you guys 3-1 off like 3 shots? And it was all counterattacks. How you score is how you score. It's like fairs.
Pretty much. And I'm actually enjoying this. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of people's piss is boiled. Like they're so mad because we have the reputation we have. We're supposed to be the aesthetically pleasing team, and guess what? We still got that in the bag.
Yeah.
But y'all were good enough to take that away from us, which is a great compliment to Amorim. And I want to give him a compliment in case I forget. I watched the Ipswich game, and I watched this game, and I'm so impressed by the growth, especially when you consider the amount of rotation that happened. The fact that he's had maybe 7 training sessions with these guys, and he got them to keep Arsenal out for an entire half. We did not look very threatening at all for that, and we have essentially the best right side in the league probably, and we didn't do shit. So you guys should be very optimistic about this dude, I think.
I will say this. I know, Gabby, you're not going to remember this, but Dean, this is for you. Do you remember this kit? Some terrorist shit that we did in this kit in the Champions League semifinal. Yes.
I remember that.
Listen, United, and I will say this much. We have terrorized Arsenal for years, so this is the get back because this is what we do. I do have a nerdy thing I noticed in this game, and I know it has nothing to do with this. Those Champagne Predator boots that the players are wearing are so good.
I'm buying them.
I'm sorry. I was looking at them and I was just like, hey, the nerd in me, the 12-year-old me that used to look through East Bay magazine and look at that Nike Shock Vapors is so excited right now because this is the nerdy stuff that I loved as a kid. So seeing boots like this just makes me excited.
Are you excited that they're bringing the 90s back?
Yes.
I mean, that's when the world was at its peak. Like,
Gabby, we're talking to senior citizens. That's their prime. They were at prime in the 90s.
This is not about prime. That's not what it's about. Like, my prime has yet to arrive. I'll tell you that fucking much. But as far as the 90s, like think about it. Shit was going in the right direction. Then 9/11 happened, and everything's been shit ever since. Life has gotten progressively suckier since 9/11. Dead ass.
Yeah.
9/11, it was Columbine, and life has been shit since then.
Oh my days.
I don't care how many albums Beyonce dropped in the interim. It don't fucking matter. That's a nice piece. That's a nice piece.
I love that so much.
Let's get back on this game real quick, though. Gabby, Ahmad popped up on the pitch, and I know you were thinking what I was thinking.
I was.
Did it take Mikel too long to take Zinchenko off, or do you think he was just like, let me see if I can use this guy until he gets a yellow, then I'll take him off?
That's the wrong question. The question is, does it always take Mikel too long to make his changes? And the answer is yes. It always takes him too long. He needs to see more than one mistake before he goes, you know what? Maybe I should, And I just knew it was going to happen.
Well, he got to work with these niggas. He sees them every day. We just talking from a distance.
You're getting sold in the summer, boy. I don't want to hear that shit. If I have a buyer in January, you out of here.
You're getting sold in the
summer. That's crazy.
Listen, we all knew. I was the only reason. So there's. I don't think I've ever said this on the pod before, but I have a superstition, like a jinx for my FPL, that anytime I put somebody in my FPL, they start to not score. And when I take them out, they start to score. So I left them out on the bench, and I knew he was going to do something. I said, I'm just going to hope and pray that he doesn't do anything. And I was like, as soon as he got that chance to run at Zinchenko, I said, I'm screaming, crying, throwing up. Like, that's how I feel. I was like, Mikel, do something, please.
And from that foul, United almost scored, right? Because Bruno put the ball right on De Ligt's head. and Raya had to make this incredible save.
That was a great save from Dayton app.
Was it great though? Was it, or did the commentator convince me that it was? Because I
No, I
expect my
think it was a
goalkeeper to
good
make
save.
that save.
It was a good save. It was.
Wasn't
Yeah, I
it?
think
It
it was-
wasn't his. It's not the best save I've seen Raya do, but it was
I'm about
definitely
to
a
say,
good save.
I think it's one of those saves where like if it goes in, you're like, I can see why the goalie didn't save that. But when they save it, you're like, good. That was even though it's something that like you expect of a top goalie, it's still a good save. Like you still have to appreciate it.
I have a stat for you guys. Arsenal have scored more goals from corners than any other side in the Premier League since the start of last season, while the two players with the most assists from set plays in this time are Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka.
Yep. It's 22, right? 22 goals from set pieces?
Yeah, and 7 from those two.
Look at
So
them. Like, they just know it already. Look at them. Nerds.
In this game,
nerds.
Arsenal created 1.68 xG from corners, the most in the Premier League by any team this season.
Crazy.
13 corners to United 0.
Gabriel would have had a hat trick in this game. And I left him in my FPL team for that reason too. I was like, just in case.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
pull up.
on the like speaking of like set pieces and that Delit play,
Yeah.
Delit is so good. He's had like a goal. He's had like 2 goals. One of them got ruled out, and he's almost scored on a bunch of set pieces for us. I feel like honestly, hey man, I'm glad y'all didn't somehow find a way to get him, because him and Gabriel on set pieces, I may have called Interpol on Arteta.
Don't
if
worry
they got
about it.
who?
Delit, because Delit on set pieces is crazy.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I will say though, we definitely don't need him on set pieces.
Oh no.
No.
He's a little slow for us, to be honest.
Question
Respectful.
for you guys, Gabby and Dean. How do you guys feel about Lenny Euro? He made his United debut today. How do you guys feel about him?
I'm glad he didn't start. And I'm not happy that he got injured, as like some of the Arsenal fans online would be like. But I'm glad that you guys didn't have him at your disposal from the start of the season, because I think he's actually really good, and I think he's going to be really good for you.
I will say they are gladder that he didn't start the season than we are, because if he started the season for them, Erik ten Hag would still have a job, and they'd still suck.
He's so bald.
Now, because they do suck now, So Lanier is good enough to have kept Erik ten Hag in a job for like an extra 2 months, which would not have been good. Because who's gonna fire that motherfucker in like February? And be like, let him see the season out.
And then you know what would have happened with that? City would replace Pep with Ruben Amorim, and then would have been, so
Man, that alternate universe is fucking terrifying.
Oh my god! I
shudder.
worry about nothing else but getting that baldy out of here. Get Pep out of
Like
this
that.
league. I'm tired.
That ass.
I'm working on
Oh,
it. Don't
man.
worry, guys.
But
I got you.
is it weird to you guys that you didn't have any corners today?
no.
We
'Cause
didn't
we didn't
create
do anything
anything.
up front.
Really get off
Yeah.
the pitch. Yeah, they didn't really
Like,
get off
we
the
didn't
pitch
create
at all.
No, we got off the pitch, but in the areas we got on the pitch, like we got off the pitch on the side. Then we didn't put the ball in the box, and then we passed backwards and didn't create anything. The starting front 3 had 0 shots, 0 chances created.
You know what somebody called?
It's not your fault. It's not
You
your
know what
fault.
someone called Joshua Xerxes in our group chat? Called him lazy.
Lazy boy, I like that.
No,
Yeah.
it's just like Jay-Z, but lazy.
Just
No,
no,
man.
that's
I feel like, see, this is why I don't like United fans, because you niggas all stupid. Like, you're all a bunch of fucking brain dead idiots. Like, this is a fan base that enjoyed the silence of Dimitar Berbatov for many years. Don't you see it?
He's
The
so
same
good.
nigga. It's just a
Listen,
nigga. That's all.
He's just
Just hold on. This is why Tommy and I talk all the time, because I don't like
Yeah.
United fans. We don't
We
like
don't.
United fans. We
Like-
don't.
except Amani. But go on. We love Amani on this
we,
podcast.
we,
But
do,
go on.
Yes.
we do love her. We do love her.
But
yes.
like, I really just generally, like, for the most part, when I look at United, like after the game today, right? United fans saw Rashford like walking off the pitch, like, oh, everyone's clapping stuff. I'm like, who the fuck cares? Shut up. Like,
Bro.
they literally
But
think
it's
of the
funny
dumbest.
to me that you guys hate him so much. Like academy player, like genuinely one of your
100
best
goals.
players. Also, it's just
100
very
goals
odd.
for the club.
I feel like what you guys aren't acknowledging is that the core of United's fan base are people from the north of England. And these are people who vote for Tories and shit. And this is a guy that went out of his way to snub them with that fucking Meals on Wheels shit he did years ago.
Bro,
You'll never
this
forget
man-
that shit.
No, hold on, time
This
out.
shit is not about football. It's never been about football. It's
Never
This
about
man,
football.
it's
this
just
man
mean ass
fed
cracker being mean
children.
to a dope ass nigga living his best life and shit, man. He should make some music videos, man. Do that shit. Piss
He
him off some more, nigga.
he fed children, and they called it PR. I said,
It's
y'all
crazy.
lost it.
It's
Y'all
crazy.
lost it. No, but like I generally don't like United fans. I follow Tosin and like a couple other United fans, but most of the other like popular United creators are muted or like I just straight up don't follow them because I just can't do it.
Yeah, they need.
And Xerxes, this is a guy that came from I think League Serie A and the Premier League are like I don't want to say complete opposites, but damn near polar opposites. It's gonna take him time to find his legs. We are in December. We just got a new manager. Please relax. He will be fine. Don't get me wrong. I was on the United podcast calling him Saucy Santana. Hands up. He is a little bit like there is some stuff that he does that frustrates me, but I'm not saying, oh, sell him, bench him, get rid of him. He'll be a good player, of course. So guys, just calm down. And same thing with Hoyland. I think Hoyland, he could have done better, but he wasn't bad today. This man was battling against thing 1 and thing 2. This man was getting put in a headlock, but he held his own. Like there was some.
That you know. Like,
No, let me not say held his own.
He didn't hold shit.
No.
He didn't hold
No.
shit, you know, like,
No. I'm not gonna act like he did amazing, but I feel like I feel like United fans online are overstating how bad he was, acting like he was completely and utter garbage. This man was getting fed balls, and he had to pause. He was getting fed passes, and he had to. And he had to like do his best to hold up. And Garnacho's runs were so far wide. Mount is somewhere else. Dalot is over there trying to practice long shots. This man was not. He was in hell. What as a hold up striker, when you are able to bring the ball down, you need runners close to you, or you need someone you can just play back on spin off of. Then he didn't get too much opportunity to do that. So yes, he wasn't the best, but please let's not act like he was entirely at fault here.
So who was good for United? Who impressed you individually today?
Euro. Yeah, I'll go. Euro when he came on, I feel like he was very impressive. And Ugarte in bits and spurts, I'm liking a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong. On the ball, he's leaving some to be desired.
Limited.
But I feel like, yeah, he's limited, but like he's good at winning the ball and all that stuff. So I feel like if we get the right person next to him, we can take away some of those limitations. Delit, I thought that man blew out his ankle. I was terrified. He came in, I thought he did well. Bruno first half did cool. But besides that, everyone else was just
I love Andre Onana.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love Andre Onana. Euro did well. Delit did pretty well for himself. Maguire didn't embarrass himself, so fair play to him.
Yeah, I've always liked him though, but you know.
Yeah,
I forgot about him.
I've said this a million times. The only reason why Harry Maguire is judged so hard is because he's ugly and he costs so much money. It's a mess. I'm not joking. Okay.
True, that's why I was laughing.
Listen,
pretty privileged. Like, I get away with saying a lot of stuff because I'm
Privilege is a
handsome.
real
like
thing.
none of us here on this podcast made the rules of the world. We just exist in them, okay? Like if you're an ugly nigga, you got to be better at life. That's just what it is. Like pretty niggas like me with cheekbones like this, we can just float through life. Like you know, so
look at Biggie. Biggie had to be the best rapper alive to get Faith Evans. Rest his soul.
I don't know, man. If Biggie looked like Nas, he would have gotten something better than Faith. But we can talk about that.
I was gonna say, never mind. I was gonna say something, but it's mean. It's mean. It's mean.
But yeah, that's Ugarte. Like I said, like you're Jamaican, we're Nigerian. You know, when we live in the big houses, you gotta have the dude to open up the gate for the house. That's what Ugarte is, man. He's a gate man. He shuts the door. You need your gate man. That's what he is. He keeps the door closed.
But do you think in the long run, though, that this is a guy that's going to be United's starting 11?
Hell no. He's going to be a squad player, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone's going to be in the starting 11, please. That's fine. People are like, oh my God, we got to, what the fuck is this? What the hell did we get?
Listen, Arsenal fans went through the same thing. People are obsessed with the first 11. You need to build a squad.
Bro.
What do you guys think played well for Arsenal today?
Well, Gabby, you should just talk about Saliba, really.
Listen, Saliba was amazing.
Match period.
Yeah, man of the match period. But I thought Declan Rice was really good today. he's sweeping, especially in the second half specifically. He's sweeping up a lot. His go-go gadget legs, that's what I call them, because he was just everywhere, running all over the fucking pitch. And I special shout out to Kivior because that's my boy, and he's gotten slandered a lot. But credit is due. He came in, plug and play, and he did his job.
Like, honestly, the only thing that was lacking from Kivior's game was he wasn't the big threat at set pieces. Like, I don't feel like we missed Gabriel. We didn't rely on him in build up as much as we rely on Gabriel, because Gabriel's passing is A1. He just looks kind of clunky doing it, but it's A1.
Although he did put a good ball into the Chassard's feet.
Yes, he did do that. That is the one thing Kivior is like. Kivior probably has the best long ball in the squad.
100%.
Like, but he doesn't play.
And we don't utilize it enough when he's playing. But go on.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought most of the more impressive players in Arsenal's team today were in the back 5/6, including the goalkeeper, not the front half, and that's credit.
I agree.
That's credit.
We didn't see a lot of like Saka magic today. Odegaard was kind of non-existent today.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I know you guys were happy about that. I heard that I forgot who tweeted on Twitter, but somebody said that like right before halftime, Odegaard and Arteta had some words about like his performance on the pitch, I guess. It looked a little bit animated on the sideline. I guess he was trying to figure out how to tactically change him, getting more open, getting on the ball more, being more effective when he is on the ball. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just asked me, like, nigga, just fucking pass it to a teammate. Like, do that.
Yeah.
Like, you get the ball, when you turn.
You were holding on to the ball a little bit too
just
much.
pass it to one of your teammates in front of you instead of one of the guys in the navy blue kit. Like,
Ugarte and Bruno had him in a headlock. He was trying.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't think it was.
Yeah, I
were not
I think
that these were not.
Let me get my lies off.
These were not.
Let me get my lies off. Let me get my lies off.
The
Okay.
truth or only pod. Listen, the commentators were pushing that agenda a lot. They were like, "Well, United are keeping Arsenal quiet." And I was like, I don't know if they're keeping us quiet rather than we're just not playing well. You know, like I felt like we weren't. You could see the difference between the first and the second half because these just were taking too long on the ball.
Right.
We were recycling a lot, extra touches or bad touches in general. And I just wasn't sure what they were trying to do. And then I guess Arteta got into halftime, was like, get your shit together. And then they like figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to end because we got two handsome managers. You know, we're grateful. You know, the face card is going up in the Premier League. We're very proud of that. You know, two handsome coaches in the league. You know, we're trying to get rid of the two bald men in Liverpool and City. So
I beg.
You know.
So you guys are at Nottingham Forest next. What are you expecting? Yeah. I mean, no, you're not there. They're coming to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Win, loss, draw. What you expect?
Or win.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all not scared? Aren't they ahead of you guys in the table?
So.
Oh wow!
You're not fans.
Well, excuse me, y'all niggas.
No.
Y'all niggas don't lose 7-0, and you got all this chest now. Okay, that's cool.
Absolutely.
Gabby, we had to Fulham. It didn't go well there last year.
Email Smith Rowe Derby. That's what it is.
I mean, y'all got the Wobie.
You're nervous.
Listen, we normally play well against Fulham, bar last year, which kept us from winning the league. They just happened to be our bogey team last year, but like I think we're good enough. Obviously, we're good enough to beat them, and I think we will probably beat them.
Tosin?
Listen, I just can't wait for this season just to pick up pace. You know, this December is gonna tell a lot about everybody's teams. It's gonna tell a lot about everybody's team. So we'll see. We got City next week as well. Oh God, disgusting. But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
You know what? I'm gonna go put up cheeky $5 on United winning that. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think you got something for them.
Why not?
I'm backing us against City. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They did beat Nottingham Forest 3-0, so maybe you
guys are right. If Kevin De Bruyne starts, we'll see. I might change my mind, but
that's
for now.
That's for Kevin De Bruyne.
Last time KDB went up against Mino, what happened?
Will Mino be back?
Yeah, he just got him and Lissandra's got 1 game suspensions.
Okay.
Yeah,
they'll be back. Yeah, but
wait, how many games have we played this season already?
We're a third through the season, I think.
And then boys already have 5 yellows. Oh.
You guys are a bunch of fucking shitty ass team. In any event, this has been a delight. I hope to never talk to you motherfuckers again because fuck United. But it's been a pleasure, genuinely. I'm glad we kept it peaceful.
This was very amicable. It was very nice.
A professional 3-pointer.
Yeah,
I know. This is Wenger and Ferguson would be disgusted with that.
Exactly. Y'all came over to the Emirates and we said put the 3 points in the bag.
Right.
And you cooperated and we let you go home with no scars. So it'll get better. We'll get better. Everybody gets better. See you guys in January because you'll be back.
11th.
Already?
FA Cup.
Yeah. We're out.
Bro.
With myself, Tosin, Dean. I was about to call him Coach. Tommy and Gabby. We're all out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.
Hey folks, this is Dean from the Shirtless Plantain Show. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our socials. You can see them right beneath our recordings in every video. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.